What is going on, guys? We got another Gen 9 battle for you. And a little disclaimer, I think I'm going to post this one before I post the one I just did. The one I just did, um, I mentioned something about like a couple of battles back. Um, I had a problem with OBS. It's fixed now. So that was supposed to be the first battle I posted, but I just did this one, and I need to pose this one first because I get the biggest for me, the biggest compliment ever, ever for me. Like in all of my years of playing Pokemon. So we're gonna start off. Dude, by the way, do you notice that team over there? It's looking a little, I don't know. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. But anyway, we're gonna go out with Palisand here. Just so I can finally use this thing. Um, so I'm really trying to get Binding Band to work on a Pokemon. I think the Pokemon that I want to use it on is um Cloyster, but they took out Clamp. So anyway, Fortress gets trapped in here with Sandtomb, can't escape, starts taking a lot of extra damage, and has to blow up. So it did manage to get Stealth Rock up, but the Toxic Spikes are already absorbed by be wise here, lead to wise, sweet serendipity. It's a very musical episode. Brings in his Lucario to avoid a poison jab, which is good for him. Good switch. And then he fires back a flash cannon. I waited there for a couple of minutes, or not minutes, just a little while, just thinking like, is this physical or special? Physical, special. Didn't really know. Thought it was gonna be physical. Ended up being special, which kind of hurt a lot, as you saw. Did like 53%. So we go into Sadira, back into Sadira. By the way, do you know who Sadira is? If you know who Sadira is from the Aladdin show way back, mm, growing up, I had the biggest crush on her. Um, so we're gonna go into Canyon to die, basically. I need to hit this Milotic with something just to scare it away. So it was Stone Edge. And look, it did like 41%. So I was like, okay, I'm at 56 or 46. I can survive one. And it just takes me out with another surf. So that first one was like a stupid low roll. Oh. Anyway, ring in Breloom, just to see, because I figured it would run away. And also I thought it would be slower, but it's not. So I'm just getting clapped left and right all over the place in this first half of this battle. So I only got 3 months left. He's got five. So we're gonna have to do something to get rid of it. I'm just gonna spam attacks that deal damage until it goes away because that was a problem. Um, we got Natalie here chilling. We're gonna protect and see what Lucario wants to do. Probably gonna go for Flash Cannon, and it's probably gonna do a lot. But I'm thinking I can probably take one. I do have Fire Blast on this thing as a mix-up, and we miss. Lo and behold, we miss. So he actually went for Dragon Pulse, probably thinking I was going to swap after the Protect. But now he's just going to stick with Flash Cannon just to uh, just to force me out. And it hits me, so now I got to wish. And I think I'm going to speed this up because I believe is this the part where we just trade back and forth wishes and flash cannons and protects because I'm trying to figure out whether or not I can bring in Palisand safely. Um, and he ended up switching to Spiritomb, which was cool for me. I needed that. um, but later on, you'll find out something about that freaking uh dog. What's your name, Lucario? Um, but he switches into Spiritomb and starts throwing out Destiny Bonds. So, I'm not too worried about Destiny Bond because I know Sandtomb will kill it and it won't kill me because it's like mid-turn damage, or end of turn damage or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna just try to hit Nightshade and try to get Sandtomb to deal with it instead of me dealing with it. And he realizes that and swaps out to Gastrodon, who takes a Nightshade coming in, but it's got a lot of HP, so it ain't going down to just 100 damage. I have to hit it a bunch of times for that. In comes Natalie again, just to take what it wants. I go for Wish on the income for Lucario, and he swaps out back to Spiritomb, which was weird to me. I don't I guess he just didn't like the exchange that we had last time, and thought he could just maybe get rid of Clefable by hitting a Destiny Bond or something. I don't know. That was a weird switch to me. Um, but he goes back into Lucario now that I'm at full HP, and then Moonblast does like 50 something percent. And I was like, if I would have known that, I would have just hit this thing a long time ago with like not Fire Blast. I would have. I mean, Fire Blast probably would have killed it, but I don't know. It would have been a little more than Moonblast, but it did 50%. I was blown out of my mind. Um, so in comes a Garchomp who terrestrializes into Steel type, which was kind of a problem, but also kind of not a problem because if he had been or ground type like he normally is, that would have killed me. Stab, that would have killed me outright. But because it was a steel type, I was able to survive that. Goes for Giga Impact. I am not sure what that was about. I don't. Does it like change with does it steel type attack? Does it change with terrestrializing or something? I know Giga Impact just like base 150 normal hard hitting move, but I was just wondering why he had it on his Garchomp. Maybe you couldn't think of another move. I don't know if it learns Body Slam or something. Could use that instead. But went for Giga Impact, which gave me a chance to like recover and heal. Now he's just mixing up moves, I guess, on the off chance that I switch or something, and then he swaps out to Spiritomb. I had no plans on switching this thing out for a hot minute. I was just like, I'm gonna keep this thing in and just keep rinse and repeat what I'm doing, cycling through Wish, Protect, and an attack. And if something gets through, we'll swap. But he goes up to Gastrodon, and I think at this point I was trying to swap to Palisand maybe because I think Palisand can actually, or I was thinking about swapping to Palisand, because Palisand I think, can take out this Gastrodon. Um, but I ended up staying in and just again doing the same old thing, watching its HP slowly whittle down with these Moonblast. Doesn't Moonblast have like a chance to lower something special attack or something? Also, I'm not worried about getting poisoned by Sludge Bomb because I have whatever that ability is. What does it tell me? Magic Guard. Um, so I'm not worried about getting poisoned and like dying to the poison. Also, having this thing on a Sandstorm team, I wish I had two Pokemon. I might swap Palisand out for something else like has like Sandstream because only having one Pokemon with Sandstorm doesn't really do a whole lot. I know Gastrodon and Garchomp aren't really affected by it, but just for a future reference for myself. Um, we do get poisoned, but like I said, it doesn't matter. And we're just gonna go ahead and finish this thing off with a Moonblast. And so all we have left is that Garchomp. And I think it's at like above 50, isn't it? Yeah, it's above 50 and still steel type. So that means I can hit it with a fire blast now instead of trying to hit this thing with a moon blast. As long as we connect, earthquake not going to be enough again because it doesn't have the stab. I get the burn, and then he says, after my wish comes true, he says the most important words ever in the history of my channel in Pokemon battling. After I swap to Palisand, take the Earthquake. He says, "You are the most annoying stall player," and then forfeited. That to me, that to me is a pat on the back saying that I done a good job with a sandstorm team. Uh, Not with a sandstorm team because I like let half of them die in like 3 turns. So at least in the terms of stall, we done good. I'm just saying that right there to me is a compliment. I know he definitely meant it as an insult, but I am not taking that as an insult ever. You tell me that I'm the most annoying stall player, that means I'm doing something right on this team. But anyway, guys, I gotta go. So without further ado, I will peace on out. Thank you all for stopping by. Give some tender love and share a shout out. But as for now, rock on and rock out. I wish I had Cynthia's music playing over this. Whew.